Blox Fruits new bulletin is out, and there's a lot of information in this bulletin. And one of the most exciting bits is actually in the shop. If you go ahead and click the shop, you'll go down and see that control fruit is in progress. Yes, we're finally getting the control rework that we were waiting for ages, along with the ice rework, and who knows, maybe Oni fruit. Blox Fruits Bulletin number 18, and this is the cover of it. Honestly, looking like a shady character looking at some documents, and then this red button which is screaming not to touch me, and there's something like hidden under like a cover of it. I don't know what that is, to be honest. It looks like a cube or something. But let's go ahead and take a look at it. The Blox Bulletin, the summit disaster, and the secrets that emerged from the rubble. Issue number 18, December 1st, 2025. Breaking news. Explosion erupts at Hot and Cold. A sudden blast rocked the Hot and Cold research facility earlier today, shaking the second sea, sending a plume of smoke across the horizon. So basically, the lab got blown up into bits. So the explosion erupts during the island's annual scientific summit, an event led by head scientist Lucien. Lucien basically, so that's a French name if I'm not mistaken, where scholars and inventors gather to showcase their most advanced breakthroughs. So basically what happens is that every year they do an event and they showcase what scientific advancement they have done. Every scientist, every innovator, they sit down and they brag about, yo, I made something cool, like a cell phone. But yeah, during that summit, an explosion happened. Okay, so while this was happening, outside it, people were gathering to stop the advancement of the fruit, like all the awakenings that they are doing. And one guy snuck in the facility. He was also a scientist named Zero. He was clutching like documents, some notes, whatever, including what looked like security door access. So he got in a place where he's not supposed to be. And what he was holding had a sketch of a powerful fruit. Well, that powerful fruit might have been control. As you can see in this image, it actually looks like this is control fruit, to be honest. Like, look at this. To me, it looks like control. I'm not sure. A moment after Zoro, well, why am I reading it Zero entered the facility, the entire island shook as a blinding flash clocked the summit ground in light. So basically, the whole Hot and Cold was like glowing after Zero entered the facility. That triggered a violent explosion in the facility, and it injured dozens of people because there are debris falling across the entire map. And then later on, Lucien, this character looks shady, I'm not kidding. He said that Zoro was the one who started all this, and he was responsible for the incident. I don't know, bro. After absorbing a key ingredient that had been used to demonstrate a machine at the summit, Zoro fled the scene. What is that? Absorbing? Like he is like... What do you mean absorb? Is he a machine? Maybe Zero is a machine. Who knows? Mystery machine discovery. Okay, so what this is stating is that after the explosion, people started searching outside the debris and wherever the chunks fallen. They found like this thing and this file, and they said like this thing is just a piece of a blueprint of a big machine. Basically, this thing is like is supposed to be really big machine, and it's just a piece of it. And they found that, and then they found a teleporting kind of you can say that, a teleporting machine. What the hell is this? Wow. Okay. Do not open virtual world. That's crazy. So they found this, and this is like a guy teleporting half of his body from this spot. So basically it's like a virtual world. What? Like they're adding a virtual world in the world of Blox Fruits. That's crazy. And also, moving on forward, they also say that during the explosion, nothing happened to the interior technologies of the lab. So it was just a defense mechanic, and it was designed that way that it does not affect people. Pretty cool, honestly. Balancing the battlefield. So this thing is, I don't know, but this thing says that before the explosion and everything, the guy, our friend Lucien gave trinkets to people like bracelets, rings, and necklace, as you can see right here. So rings, pendant, and charm bracelets. So what they did is that they protected them from the explosion. That's why I say Lucian is a very shady character. You see right here, that's the reason. If a guy is giving them like a defense thing to protect themselves against the explosion, how is he supposed to know that the defense mechanic would trigger today? So he just gave them this thing. What this did is that during the explosion, these things were glowing as well, kind of like countering the explosion, and then it gave them, not just that, it internally gave them strength and energy. I don't know where that comes from. And people are saying, without these things, we wouldn't have survived the explosion. So they gave them the surge of clarity, strength, or even a burst of energy. That's crazy. So that way, they were able to escape their deaths. We are actively monitoring the unfolding situation and searching for those responsible for this chaos. Stay tuned for more news soon. It will be sad to say this thing goodbye. Maybe it will be broken. Maybe it will remain broken. This thing is pretty nice. I would be sad to say goodbye. But other than that, the bulletin itself was more like a newspaper read for me. They were trying to copy the egghead style in Blox Fruits, and I'm not sure if it's gonna work because this bulletin was nothing but boring, and there is no more information. Like, there isn't clear information on what's happening, and that's acceptable because the start of the bulletin is basically the start of the lore for the next update, and always that's always been the case. The start of the lore is always boring, and sometimes you don't get what's happening, where are they going with that, and they just, you know, make up stuff going on. So it is supposed to be boring. Don't expect much from it. There isn't much clear information, but what is clear is that this thing right over here, our control fruit in progress, this is what I am most excited about. So whatever happens, it will fall in the right place. I know it, because we're gonna get, at the end of it, we're gonna get control rework. That's all that matters. Overall, very boring bulletin like a newspaper, but I'll catch you in the next one. I hope this helped you out. Take care and bye-bye.